I've just been with a consulting client and I'm starting to notice a bit of a trend when it comes to small, big companies. So I'm going to give everyone one bit of advice. And this doesn't just relate to marketing, it relates to development as well, or business creation, let's call it. One thing that all companies and individual people do wrong is they don't understand the core reasoning and the core understanding of the strategy from the beginning. So let me explain. So we'll use development to start. You're building an app. When you build an app, you have to understand every bit of movement on that app. The reason being is if you don't, adding that in later, number one, will only cost you more money. Number two, it really messes up the whole flow of the system because everything connects from the front, what you see, to the back end on the admin. And fundamentally, it just causes problems because you weren't aligned at the beginning. You didn't have the vision, you didn't understand the audience, you didn't understand the core concept of what you're trying to create and why. You didn't understand on the functionalities that someone's going to need to use that system. So that's number one. Then the same with marketing. So this company that I just had a consulting day with, we went through their SEO and their Google Ads, okay? I basically told them to scrap everything because number one, in simple terms, SEO, let's say, I said to him, so what's the objective here? You hired an agency to do SEO for you, but what are they doing? What was the objective? When you sat down with them, what keywords in your country area do you want to be number one on Google for? Because you have to appreciate that everything connects from the initial search term that you want to be number one to the content on the website, to the landing page, to the ad copies, to the descriptions, and then to the blog, let's say. So if you don't have a core foundation, the core idea, how can you ever expect to win? So basically, we had to scrap the whole thing, start again from scratch. But now we have a direction, now we have a roadmap. Same with Google Ads. This company they had before running Google, but then they were doing so many little mistakes, and I'm not gonna go into too technical in here, but they didn't have an objective. They didn't know what they wanted. Why are you trying to rank on Google? What are the number one keywords you need to be ranking on Google? What are your competitors doing? What are bringing in the most leads for your competitors? What's the campaign strategy? They just didn't understand anything. And it's not because they needed to understand, but the agency they were working with wasn't trying to teach them to understand so they could actually give their own input. So we basically scrapped the whole idea and we sat down, and from that I explained them the difference between search, difference between why you shouldn't really be doing display and search partners, then understand the difference between Performance Max and understanding that you need to segment them, And from that they had a better understanding of, well, actually, now you said that, we need to do this. This is what we want. And from that, I was able to go, brilliant. Based on what you just said, this is what we're gonna do. So I then not only strategize the Google Ads based on what they want, I strategize the Google Ads keywords to the ad copies to the descriptions and the ad copies to the landing page. So there was a connectivity across the board. Because fundamentally, it's still run by computers. It's still run by these tiny little bots that connect everything together. So everything needs to connect. So basically, what I'm trying to say, anyone listening who runs a business, is really understand what you want. And if you ever hire someone, get them to teach you, get them to explain to you what they're doing and why. Because you know your business better than any marketing agency. And if any agency comes in going, oh, I can do this. No. Your agency will never know more than you. You need to teach the agency, and the agency needs to be open to listen and understand and learn. And then their expertise and technicalities, it's combined with you, is what's going to allow you to grow, to be big, to understand the vision, the goal, and everything. But everything needs to connect from the beginning. And if it doesn't connect from the beginning, you're going to have to scrap it and restart again. Hope that helps.